if you had one chance to defeat your greatest enemy and to gain as much power as possible, but it would cost you losing someone close to you, would you do it? Well, that is what we're going to talk about today in this theory of Dr. Xenon's biggest mistake. Hello Internet, and welcome to TDX Theory. And today, I'm here to talk about my theory on a huge lore drop that was thrown not too long ago. I already talked a bit about this in my previous video, but this video will go more into depth about what it is. So, here, we have a photograph of Dr. Xenon with a mysterious lab partner, which we'll call the Companion, because that is how they were mentioned. In the background, we can see a rock with a calamity symbol and what seems to be large wires and cables hooked up to this rock. Now, what I believe to be the case is that Dr. Xenon found this rock somewhere, which we don't know where, but I believe this rock came from Calamity's body because if you look at the backside of Calamity, you can see a missing chunk of rock which could be the rock that Dr. Xenon is experimenting on. We know that this rock is a source of energy because if we look at the table here, it says that it is a calamitic power source. Now, what are they doing with this rock exactly? Well, I think that Dr. Xenon and her partner are harnessing the energy from this rock to power the various TDX enemies. If you see here on the table, we can see that there's this weird strap that they put on the enemies. Well, I think that they put the energy from the Calamity Stone into the strap in order to power up the enemies that we see in TDX. A good example of enemies who use these power straps are nuclear zombies, smashers, revived abominations, toxic wastes, and who all use these red substance from the Calamity Rock with the straps attached to them. One thing I should mention, but this could be wrong, but I think that these red power straps can give strong enemies the power to summon other enemies, like Apex Predator, where he can summon other predators with a crush of his fist. Now, who else do you know has the power of summoning enemies that uses the red substance? Well, obviously, it's Calamity. Now, going back to the image, it seems that the Calamity Rock has been drained from all of its power due to it being overused by Dr. Xenon and the Companion, and it seems like that they need more of it. But how would they get more? Well, the only way to get more of this red substance would be to summon the Calamity. Summoning the Calamity would be a win-win scenario in their case to get more red substance and to be able to use the Calamity to defeat the GDA, which can be seen in this whiteboard over here. Now, how would they summon Calamity exactly? Well, if you look at the table again, we can see that they relate Calamity to devils. So, theoretically, Calamity is a demon. We can prove that he is a demon by him being able to summon other demons, and that after defeating Calamity, we can see him sink down as if he were going back to hell, which proves that he is a demon from hell. Now that we know that Calamity is a demon, in order for demons to be summoned, I think that the demon would need a worthy sacrifice. Now, I believe that Dr. Xenon sacrificed the Companion. Now, why would she sacrifice her companion instead of some other random person? Well, I think that in order to summon Calamity, you need to sacrifice someone close to you, like a friend or a family member. And judging by this picture, we can tell that the Companion was a close friend to Dr. Xenon. How else do we know that the Companion was the one that Dr. Xenon sacrificed? Well, we can see that when Calamity spawns his minions in, we can see a demon who is a woman with the name Redacted. We can also see in another artwork of Dr. Xenon standing next to this demon called Redacted, and this could tell us that after sacrificing her to Calamity, Calamity made the Companion one of her minions. Side by side, I am highly certain that the Companion is the enemy Redacted. Want more proof that Dr. Xenon sacrificed the Companion? Well, if you look at the entire picture, it looks like a photograph, as you can see from the white border, and it seems like someone crossed out the eyes of the Companion. Well, I believe that Dr. Xenon was the one who crossed out the eyes of the Companion because she didn't want to think about her anymore because she felt guilty about sacrificing her to Calamity. What is also weird about the image is that we do not see the red X on top of her head that we normally see in her dialogue photos. Now, I believe that this red X was formed from the red substance that we were talking about earlier, and she uses it in a way to power herself up in some way. I'm not really sure about this, but the only proof I have of this is that in Dr. Xenon's concept art, we can see that when she is turned around, we can see a strap on her head which could contain the red substance, which holds the X logo on her head. Now, with everything we know about Dr. Xenon, from her turning humans into robots, turning our allies into enemies, and sacrificing a person close to her, no wonder why she's the main antagonist of TDX. Lastly, I believe that the name Tower Defense X actually has a meaning, which I bet all of you have now thought about. Now, I think that Tower Defense X actually means Tower Defense Against Xenon, or for short, TDX. But hey, that's just a theory. A game theory. Thanks for watching.